This is the only Hela guide you will ever need to watch. I will go over everything, starting with what all of her abilities are, how and when to use them. Then we'll go over all of the combos you should know to quickly kill enemies, including a tank killer combo that can kill tanks in as little as 4 seconds. And finally, we'll cover the playstyle and general game plan you should use during your games to be the most effective you can be. I've included timestamps in the description below so you can skip ahead or revisit any section you like. And with that being said, let's start off with everything you need to know about her abilities. So the first ability I'm going to be talking about is the Nastront Crow Storm, which is your first passive. So basically what it does is if I kill this bot right here, a crow will fly up, hitting enemies near him. It does around 60 damage. It's not great in general, but there is really no downside to it. The only thing it really does is basically just hit the people that are next to it. So the second passive ability that I will be talking about is called Hell's Descent. Basically all it does is if you fall off or if you jump off of a high building or a high place, you can hold spacebar to float down. Is it useful? I wouldn't necessarily say so, because you float down really slowly and you can get hit from anywhere. So I would not recommend using it. So the first actual ability that I will be talking about is the Nightsword Thorn, which is just your left mouse button. This is your main attack and is very useful. The really useful thing about your main attack is that it's hit scan. It immediately registers when you shoot. So if I go right here and I shoot right here, it immediately deals the damage. For example, Hawkeye here, he does not have hit scan. I have to trail the enemy in order to hit them. Also, what makes your main attack super powerful is that it does 90 in the body and 180 damage on the head. And there's also no damage drop off, which is actually insane. So it doesn't matter from where you're standing. If I'm standing right here, it does the same damage as if I were to be staring Groot right in his nutsack, like this. It does the same damage. And also another really good thing about it is that it only takes around 0.8 seconds to fire. So you can just keep shooting and just kill them very fast. So I would really recommend using this for a long distance and not close range, because close range you are almost guaranteed to die. So I would very much recommend that you play Hela from mid to long distance. Also, the final thing about the main attack is that it's very good at singling out enemies and killing them. As you can see, I do a lot of damage on Groot right here. Like, I can kill him very fast. So I would recommend just trying to single out one character and just keep on hitting him. So don't switch between your targets, just single them out and kill them and then move on to the next one. The next ability I will be talking about is your E, aka the Soul Drainer. So basically if I hit my E right here, they get sucked in and they get stunned for a little while. It does around to 60 damage, and it doesn't matter if you hit them on their head, on their body, or right next to them, it'll do the same damage. So now you're probably wondering, how do you use it? I would advise just shooting the orb as close as you can to multiple people, because it does damage to multiple people, it stuns everyone, and it pulls them all together, which another character could use their ult to maybe kill them. You want to aim above where you want it to land. So if I wanted to land perfectly in between there, so as you can see right here, that was perfect. So you basically just need to get that kind of feeling for the ability and you will be all good. So I personally find it very useful for if I'm in combat with a melee character and I am about to die, I could just press my E, make them stun, and try to get away with my bird. If he is pretty low but so are you, I would just try to stun him, get back, and just shoot him in the head. Also, one last thing that is really useful for this ability is grouping enemies for an AoE attack from your teammate. Now, when should you not use it? I wouldn't use it at a very long range because it basically renders it useless. So basically, if you're going for the attack and you thunder the motherfucker all the way into the enemy line, but you're still back there, it does nothing. It has a cooldown of 12 seconds and it's just not good. So I would now recommend using it on a long distance. Now onto one of my favorite abilities is the Piercing Knight, which is your right mouse button. Basically, it is 5 blades that you throw at the enemy and they explode. It does a little bit of damage on impact, but it also does a little bit of damage from the explosions itself. Also, this one is not hit scan, as you can see. The cool thing about this ability is that you can put it into multiple people. As you can see, if there was a person right there, and right there, it would have stuck to them, and it would have done a little bit of damage. So as you can see, it will explode in about 3, 2, 1. That means that you have to wait a little bit for it to actually do a lot of damage. The explosions are AoE, which means that you can damage people in groups. And also why it's one of my favorite abilities is because it only has an 8-second cooldown, so you can kind of just keep on using it, which is very nice because it is a very good ability to have. Now on to how to use it. You want to lead the enemies, just like what I told you about Hawkeye, where he has to lead his enemies to actually hit with his crossbow. You have to do the same thing with your piercing blades because they are not hit scan. So as you can see, I'm going to throw it against Groot, and a few actually hit, which is very nice. As I told you guys before, I would not recommend doing it on multiple people because it does that little damage if it's just one of them. So I would recommend using it on only one. There are some crazy and insane combos that you can do with these abilities, but I will show you that in just a second. I would very much advise to use this ability on low health characters. As you can see, Groot is very low. If I use it on this Groot, for example, he's not low. That'll do nothing and he can get healed. But if I use it on this Groot right here, he will die. So try and use it on the lowest person possible. Just like the Soul Drainer ability, I would not advise to use this on very long distances. Because again, the cooldown, and again, you will probably not hit any of them, which means that you just wasted your ability. So I would keep it at the mid to close range. Now, the only traversal ability that you have with Hela is Astral Flock, which just basically means that you turn into a bird. So it's basically a dash, right? You have to keep your mouse on the location where you want to go. So if I want to go forward, I use it to go forward. If I want to go up, I use it to go up. If I want to go down, I can use it to go down. And once you have looked into the direction that you want to go and you press shift, you cannot change the way that you want to go. So make sure that you strategically think about where you want to go with your crow. So the crow's cooldown is 12 seconds. Also, one of the most insane things about this is that you are actually invincible. Also, a good thing to note is if you press shift and you go into your crow state, you can press shift again to get out of it, which means that if you accidentally do this and you're stuck, you can just instantly press shift and get out of there. I personally like to use it at the beginning so that I have a little bit of an advantage and be faster on the objective, because the cooldown will be done once you are on the objective or next to it, which means that you can use it again to get away. It's also very good at escaping fights. If this was an actual player right here and he was chasing me, I could use this, do this, and get away and get a little bit of a space between us. Only way that you do not want to use this crow is if you are in a tight place. For example, if I'm right here and you're getting chased and you're kind of shaking your mouse and you're accidentally doing this, you are stuck and you will die. So now onto your ultimate or your ult, the Goddess of Death. What is it? It's not a hit scan and it's basically like a Hell Strike. So basically what you do is you press Q, you go up, and you shoot balls. The balls do around 150 damage per shot. It doesn't matter if you shoot right here. It doesn't matter if you shoot on them. It will do the same damage. So there is no damage drop off. And the neat thing about this ultimate is that you basically get a second health bar. So people can shoot at you, but you will not die. Your ultimate might end early if they seem to kill you in your ult form, but they do not actually kill you. So how to use it? I do heavily recommend shooting near them instead of at them, because you can get a much larger range if you shoot in between two enemies than if you shoot on one enemy. The range is pretty big on the ult, but it's not as big as you might think it is. So as you can see right here, I'm using my ult, and as you can see on the 10 meters doesn't do damage. On the 5 meters it does damage, but only on this one. So you try to aim in between. So when is your ultimate useful? So you can use it for a push, you can use it for defense, you can use it within a group because it does, you know, collateral damage, so you damage everyone in the vicinity. And it's also very good that if you're getting chased by multiple people, your healers are dead, your tanks are dead, you're only with you and your DPS, or you are alone, you can also use the ult to get out of that situation. For example, if those two were both tanks, they were chasing me, I could just use my ult and just kill them. So when I do not recommend using your ult is indoors or in tight places, because as you can see right here, if I were to be around multiple people and I would use it right here, they could really just go outside and I can't hit them. You also need to watch out for overhangs or anything that could block your vision while going into the ult. So if I were to be right over here and use my ult, I could not hit those characters. I could maybe hit that one, but I could not hit those characters. So you really need to look out for anything that could block your vision. The last thing that I would not recommend you doing when using your ult is using it on one player or two player, because you want to get as many people as you can into a group and try to kill all of them, or at least damage all of them. I also wasn't planning on putting this in, but it could be very useful information for you, which is the team ups. So basically Hela's team up ability is that she can resurrect Thor and Loki with hitting the final shot. And if Thor and Loki are both still alive and you kill a player, they can actually get a health bonus of 50 extra health. So now on to the combos, which is one of my favorite things about this game. You can have a lot of different combos, but with Hela I have 3 good combos that you can use to kill any character. So the first combo is a mid-tier health combo. This combo does around 400 to 425 damage with headshots and does around 325 damage without headshots. So basically all you have to do for this combo is just throw your spears, press E for your black hole, and then hit him. As you can see, the body did around the 325 damage. But if I were to do this with headshots, as you can see, you throw your spear, black hole, headshot. It does half of Groot's health, which is around the 425 damage. So the second combo is what I like to call a tank killer combo. And yes, the name does not lie. If you do this correctly, it could kill Groot within 4 seconds. So basically all you need to do is just left mouse click, right mouse click, press E, and just keep on hitting him in his head. And now you can also do this with body shots. So instead of killing him in 4 seconds, it'll take approximately 5 to 6 seconds to kill him. You press left mouse button once, you do your spears, you do your E, which is the black hole, and then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 8 body shots in total. You can also do it combined, and it'll take around the 5 seconds. So the third combo is a squishy with heals combo. So basically what it means is that if a DPSer gets healed a lot, this combo would be very good to use. So all you need to do is just left mouse button, right mouse button, and left mouse button again. That will instantly kill them with body shots. But if you want to really secure that kill, you do 1 headshot, 1 body shot, 1 headshot, and they will die. And of course he died here sooner because he is a squishy and he will die within 2 headshots. But if he constantly gets healed, this will definitely kill him even though he has a healer on his ass. So it does a lot of damage automatically in seconds, and it should counteract any healers. So the fourth combo is not really a combo, it's just how to kill a squishy really fast. Basically all you need to do is 2 headshots. There's no fancy combo that you can do here. So you kill him in either 2 headshots or 4 body shots. This is the fastest way to kill any squishy without any heals. So the last thing that I will be talking about is the actual playstyle / game plan that you need to incorporate. This game style has helped me win countless matches and it's just so good. So the first thing you want to do is find high ground. High ground is key with Hela because she is a very long range character. She's not a close range character, so do not treat her like one. Then once you've found high ground, you need to focus the healers first. I've had countless matches where the healers are just up the DPS and the tank's ass and they just cannot die. So I'd suggest focus the healers first. Then after you've killed the healers, you try to drop down and help your team out. Then after you've dropped down and are pushing with your teammates, I suggest killing the DPSers first because they can flank around, they can come from the side, they can kill you from the side, they can kill you from the back. So I'd suggest killing the DPSers first. After you've killed the DPSers, obviously you kill the tanks. Once you've done that, you go onto the objective and you get it. After you've taken the objective, you try to focus on playing in front of the healers but behind the tanks because the tanks are there to catch all of the hits. You have really good range ability, so use that to kill the enemy team while they are trying to get that objective back. So you can either support and hold the objective and just kill everything that moves, or you can just repeat that same strategy again by finding high ground, killing the healers first, then the DPSers, and then the tanks. But also good to note is that they will know what you are doing, so changing the strategy is always a good thing. So if they are suspecting this, just stay down and play behind the tanks. So in the worst case, your healers have died, your tanks have died, and you're alone with like 1 other DPS. What do? What I personally like to do is just going to find a place where there's a med pack and where there is a lot of space. That way you can heal yourself if you ever get low and you have enough room to actually get out of there. Because the only job that you have right now is just trying to hold them back. The longer you hold them back, the more time your team has to get back into their positions. And also on a final note, again, keep your distance. Because if a melee character comes around, you're dead. You're just instantly dead. You can barely do anything to actually kill them because they are fast and they get into your personal space and they kill you. So try to stay back as far as possible. Try to hold them back for as long as you can and you will win your games. Now before you go, check out these 5 things you should know before playing competitive in Marvel Rivals by clicking the video on screen now.